Hi, my name is Mary Martin, and I am the president of a company called Performance Strategies Group. We have been working with the RCA as well as churches within the Synod of the Great Lakes for close to 20 years now. Our work really focuses around helping build strong teams and doing that first individually by helping people become more aware of who they are and how they operate. Over the years, I have become known as the Colby Lady, and Colby is a tool that helps people assess to know themselves better. One of the things we know is that self-awareness is a quality that trumps all others. In fact, as leaders, self-awareness gives us confidence. As leaders, self-awareness helps us to repeatedly do what we do best. And this is a way that others that we lead can understand what to expect from us. It becomes predictable. And in today's world with high stress, what we want to do is we want to help build strong leaders, strengthen congregations, and help people know themselves better. So we've used a tool that's called the Colby Index. And I want to share just a little bit with you about why that's an important tool today for people to understand. It's a tool that is different than others because it's really measuring our personal energy, who we are and how we operate on a day-to-day basis. It's what others around us can recognize and know. Years ago, Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." And excellence then is not an act, but it becomes a habit. So the more you know yourself, the more you work in alignment with who you are, the greater others around you are going to have confidence and an understanding of what they can expect about you. Our company is called Performance Strategies Group, but we also see our work very faith-based. Actually, for me, being able to share the leadership principles that I've learned over 29 years through Colby in a faith-based environment really helps me to choose a role of how would people be serving God. So PSG stands also for people serving God. So as we look at us, one of the things that this tool, Colby, helps us to understand is how we work, how we operate, and basically what we need. And so the more we understand our needs, the better we can fulfill and do the work that God has called us to do. One of my favorite passages is Ephesians 4:29. "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for the building up of others according to their needs." And this is what Colby helps us to understand. What is it that you need? There are really 4 categories that we're looking at. The first is what we call a need for Factfinder. Obviously, you can understand that terminology. The more people have this need, the more they're going to operate out of a need of information, detail, specifics. When we see ministers and pastors who have this energy, we see scholars, people who are willing to maybe go in and take one text, one scripture verse, and really go deep with that verse. The second instinct is what we call follow-through, or a need to organize. These are people who lend a great ability of strength and self-awareness to the ability to structure things, deal with logistics. Especially in churches, we need people with these talents. These are the talents to coordinate and organize and pull things together, and in many cases, bring it to the bottom line and create focus and closure. A third instinct is, we call this the quick start, but it has everything to do with people who are willing to take risks. And so these are leaders, ministers, other staff members who aren't afraid to deal with ambiguity. And especially when we're dealing with faith, faith is in some cases ambiguous. So I see a lot of ministers who have this strength. But if they're not able to understand it and share it with others, sometimes it's confusing because they're very, very unfocused, and they have many things going on, and they're constantly striving for new opportunities and new possibilities and reaching potential. And the last instinct is really this instinct we call the implementer, but has everything to do with hands-on. And so the more of this instinct and talent that you have, the more you want to see things moving. You want finished product, physical product. We see this instinct in youth pastors, where you're out with students, you're out with kids, you're schlepping, I like to call it. And so you're really, you're going on trips, you're going across the country, you're in the great outdoors. And so the more people understand these instincts about them, the greater we can fulfill the needs that we have. And through understanding our needs, now this gives us confidence in many cases to go do the work that God has called us to do. Another passage that I absolutely love is 2 Corinthians 9, verse 8. Having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. And so one of the very first things we want people to know is, who are you? How do you operate? What do you need? How can you be congruent? And then be able to share that with others. If you'd like more information, our website is www.psgteam.com. Thank you.